Yeah, so we're very excited to recently released the KeyPro Go version 2.0 firmware. So as usual, AJ, this is free firmware and updates, and it brings a slew of major features to the product, which are really going to benefit our AV users and even broadcasters. It starts with image quality, and the image quality is great. We're now upped the bandwidth to 25 megabits per second. You have 5 setting choices you can go through from 5 to 25 megabits per second. We've also created the image workflow to include 10-bit options, and as well as 422 color space. So a lot more color and detail is available to you, which is going to help a lot with live shows, for instance, where there may be flashing lights, that kind of thing, for concerts, even houses of worship, where music these days is a very big component to the service. We have added the ability to actually format inside the unit. And what that means is when you get your USB stick that you're utilizing for your recordings, your H.264 recordings, you can actually format them with exFAT, which is great. So whether you're on Mac or Windows, you don't have a CPU around, you can get going. You can now transfer files across the network as well. So over its LAN port, you got to recall that the KeyPro Go has got a built-in web server. So now you can actually fetch those files across the network. You can also view more information, both on the built-in display as well as our monitor outs, HDMI and SDI. So what that means is you get a dual channel display of audio for each one of your channels. That's a multi-channel HD recorder, up to 4 channels at a time. So you'll be able to see 8 different levels, of course, 4 pairs, on the display as well as on your super out. We're also showing you your media remaining. So for those folks that are working live, everyone's felt that panic before, my media is about to run out, oh dear. But at least as you get going, you'll know exactly what kind of percentage of media you have left. We're also now giving people the opportunity to put in their own timecode source. So that's pretty cool, because the whole point of a KeyPro Go is you can mix and match professional and less professional devices. So let's also talk about utilizing KeyPro Go outside of our traditional live events. Today, a lot of people are working remotely, from home even. So having a product like a KeyPro Go, where you can utilize the internet and you can control and configure the device, is also really important. And we found that products like KeyPro Go are popular even within medical communities. Obviously, there's a lot of work going on right now in the middle of a crisis, being able to record events, even when required, plug in your computer, take the HDMI output from your computer, record to H.264. Gives you beautiful looking imagery. It allows you to transfer them easily across the network. It allows you to put them on video demand platforms like CDNs. So the ability to get across that network, grab the files, control the device as required, and to set up your settings very quickly and easily is really important. 4K or Ultra HD is obviously becoming more and more of a dominant format. The production of 4K Ultra HD has not always been simple. In many cases, it's required that you utilize up to 4 or quad 12G-SDI connections. That can be a bit of a headache in the sense that you're having to troubleshoot 4 different cables. You got more weight when it comes to equipment, carrying it around. And now we live in an age where production that is occurring is also going to require a lot of social distancing. So you need the capability to keep things down to a minimum, keep weight down, and probably deal with distance. So along these lines, we've introduced a few new 12G-SDI and fiber products in the last couple of weeks. The first would be the KeyPro Ultra 12G, which joins our line of KeyPro players and recorders. And now you've got the capability of utilizing a single cable for your 4K Ultra HD workflows. It's still a multi-channel HD recorder as well, so you can use 12G-SDIs for that. But most importantly, I think, is that it also has the capability for you to add an optional 12G fiber connection. So as productions are kicking into place right now, they're requiring stripped down sets in terms of personnel, and you're going to want to run a cable a pretty long distance from that original camera setup, so you're keeping things down just to the couple of actors that may be involved, perhaps the director and DP, and then you're running those cables quite a long distance. It's going to be the same thing with houses of worship, company corporate events. You need to be very far away from the CEO when you interview him, that type of thing. So we brought out a bunch of minis to go with this. So our mini converters include our FIDO 12G STs. And the great thing about the ST format is it's a locking barrel connector, which is great. It's a little more robust than other fiber SFP connections. So it's going to handle that run around, that rush that everybody experiences in the real world. And then we've got the 12G AMA, which embeds and disembeds analog audio, which is also key because you're going to want to take audio from your mixer, your mics, get them into those signals. And then finally, we've done the same thing for HDMI converters. So we've added a 12G ST connection for these models. And that's key because we've seen a lot of people having to monitor on their displays for what's going on from a much further distance than they used to. So in summation, in terms of what we've done with these updates, these new products, is I'd really love you to visit aja.com when you have some time. Take a look. We've got some new 12G solution pages. We even have 8K solution pages, but right now I think stuff like 12G, our fiber solution page, our streaming solution page is really going to bring this all together. What we're trying to do is give you the tools you can utilize both for as your production starts to ramp back up and also as you deal with this remote workflow world.